I'm really not sure how these months just keep flying by, but a lot of comments that I had on my last Vanguard portfolio update were that a lot of people's portfolios right now are not looking too good. So let's jump into mine and see how it's looking this month. I do feel like a bit of a broken record at this point, but just in case there are any new viewers here, this portfolio that I'm showing you right now on Vanguard is not a portfolio that I'm currently paying into. This is my ISA portfolio that was active last tax year. I no longer put any money into this account, but it's still open and it just does its thing. So every month I come in, I check on it, I film it, and we just see how it's doing. Right, I've got last month's portfolio on my phone in front of me because my memory sucks and I can't remember my ISA value last month. And honestly, I don't really check this account other than these videos. So let's have a look. Last month, literally, on the 25th of September, it's now the 26th of September, my ISA value, so the portfolio value, sat at £2,000, hopefully not, £6,247.68. You can see at the moment it sits at £6,188.80. So we are down compared to last month, but I'm not entirely surprised, and I don't really care. This is a portfolio, like I said, I'm not really actively putting any money into it. It's just doing its thing. The markets and the situation right now isn't great, so I really wouldn't expect this to be increasing at all. So I'm not surprised. But let's just take a closer look at what's been going on. So my personal rate of return this time round is still in the positive. It's 3.9%. Last time it was 6.22%. So this is also down. I've said this quite a lot of times, but I think it's a really important point. The personal rate of return is not just how well the portfolio is doing. It includes any money you put in, any money you take out, and also how your portfolio is doing. So we can kind of account for the fact that I haven't put any money into this account or out of this account since April, March sort of time. Just before the new tax year, I put some money in. But this is, of course, since the account opened. So the money that I was putting in has also been included in this personal rate of return. But the fact that it's down from 6.22 to 3.9 since last month, and I haven't put any money in or out of the account, does show that the portfolio itself hasn't been doing as well. Another big difference is this available cash. So last time, the available cash sat at £46.42, and it's now at nearly £61. Like I said, no money's been going into this account. I've not put any cash ready for investing into here because I'm not allowed. This is not my current ISA. This has purely come from dividends. So we'll take a look at that in a minute, and any account fees get taken out. So the fact that there's quite a big jump makes me excited to see what dividends we actually got paid. Last transaction and largest holding, no difference there from last month. My largest holding is still VUSA, makes up 70% of my ISA. And my last transaction again was VUSA, and that was for this amount of money here. Not active, not putting money in. This is not going to change. This is going to be pretty standard from now on out. So let's go into the investment section. As you can see, absolutely nothing's changed in terms of what I actually hold. Still the FTSE Global All Cap Index Fund and the S&P 500 ETF. The weighting is here. You can see it on the screen. But let's just have a look at the change. So let's compare this to last month actually. Okay, so last month, the current value of the FTSE Global All Cap, this is really small, came in at £1,853.51. 1,850. Yeah, so we've got a drop here. And the change, so what I gained or lost from that holding last month was minus £37.47. So we can see that this month we're down even more. We're down by £75, let's call it. We're down by £75. It's doing worse than last time. It's a global all cap, so it's going to have those small cap, mid cap, large cap companies globally, all around the world. And the global economic market, the situation right now, we all know it's dismal. It's not great. So you know, this is really expected. I'm not concerned. So yeah, let's take a look at the next one. So the S&P 500. Last month, it was 4,347. 4,347. Oh my God, I'm so slow today. Okay, so the difference from what I put in to what I've now got last month was £86.94. So this month it's £51.41. So it's not as good. We've lost some, but it's still in the green, which is pretty, that's not bad going considering. So the total difference this time is £23.90 minus £23.90. And last time we were actually up by about £50. So let's just have a look actually how the S&P 500 has been doing. Okay, so it's up today. Last 5 days it's up. Last month. Okay, so in the past 1 month it's up by 5.58%. In the last 6 months, it's not looking good. So we've had this little surge here, which is quite nice to see. Do you guys give me some predictions here? I know that we can't time the market. I know that we don't know what's going to happen, but just throw some comments around. What do you think is going to happen to the S&P 500 in the next 1 month, 6 months, a few years maybe? And also, how do you think that the UK market is going to compare? Maybe the FTSE 100, the FTSE 250? Because if I take a look at that, let's have a look at the FTSE 100. It's just... 5 days it's been up by not even 1%, but it's just not great, is it, at all? And we've had the pound crash in. It's just not good. Let me max it out. Do you think anytime soon, anytime being the next decade, do you think in the next decade the FTSE 100 is going to see another surge as it did during this period here? Or, this period here? Are we just going to keep bouncing up and down, or are we going to see a growth in the FTSE 100? Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, let's get back to my portfolio. So we've taken a look at that. We can look at the performance as well. This is since the account opened. Let's see what that was last time. Okay, last time it was 168. So makes sense. It's down, but surprisingly, I'm still in the positive, which does surprise me because I feel like I've only been investing during market falls, market crashes. I started just before the big pandemic. We all know about that. And there's been a lot of turmoil, there's been a lot of ups and downs since, but I feel like it's been quite a crazy ride for a new investor. Obviously, there was the surge after the pandemic when the market started to pick up, and that made my portfolio look really nice for a while. But the majority of the time that I've been investing has been quite difficult. But also the other part of me thinks, okay, that's great. You want these bargains to be available to you. You want the market to not be doing well in the majority of the time that you're putting money in. This wouldn't be such a good picture if I was taking money out or I was about to retire. I know that that's causing quite a lot of people stress. I've seen some comments about that. I feel like this is okay. This is all right. And then we can obviously look at the calculations. Oh, sexy dividends. Okay, that's where that money's coming from. Is this in the last month? Oh no, this is of all time. Okay, so let's look at the month. I really like this view on Vanguard, actually. It's so helpful. So here's the picture for September. Obviously, when I film these, I look back at the last month. So just take that into account, if that makes sense. So let's look at October. Obviously, we're in October. So the beginning balance from October was this amount. And then it's telling me that I've gained £125.48. And obviously some of that is going to be in dividends. Some of that is just going to be in growth and so on. So the income return from October, so the dividends that I got paid, has come in at £16.86, which I'm really, really happy with. This isn't my dividend portfolio. I focus more on dividends in my current ISA, so check out my Interactive Brokers portfolio if you're interested. But this was never set up to be a dividend generating portfolio. It just so happens that my ETF does generate me dividends and my largest holdings in that. So we do expect some dividends. And fees very low, typical Vanguard very low, £2.37. So we can see that this is the total of the personal investment return and the ending balance. And then it has this section here, which just adds up a cumulative return. So, month on month, it's changing. I just like this view because you can see straight away where all of your your negatives are and where all your positives are, just because they're color coordinated, which is quite visually pleasing, honestly. I like that. And I think, yeah, okay. So this month, October 2022, has been the largest dividend month for this portfolio. So that's quite exciting. So let's just have a look at my transactions. Okay, so the last time I put money in was the 3rd of April, so just before the tax year. Of course, this is not going to change now. So let's have a look at the cash statement. Okay, here it is. Here's the dividend that we got paid. So on the 10th of October, Vusa paid a dividend of £16.80. So, and obviously then some money, a little bit of money came out for the account fee. But that's really quite good considering this is not a dividend portfolio. So now that I have, let's just go back to the overview. Now that I have £60.91 on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this money to work. I'm going to reinvest it. I'm not just going to leave it sitting in cash, but I'll probably wait for another dividend amount to come in, because ideally I'm going to probably put it in the S&P 500. And that's, how much is one share at the moment? Let's take a look. Let's look at Vusa actually. £62.78. So let's say about £63. I don't quite have enough for that yet, and I also want to make sure I have a little bit of money left over for account fees, because it's set up that it comes out of my available cash. So I'm going to wait until it probably gets another maybe 1 dividend payment or 2, depending on how much comes in, and then I'm going to deploy this cash to go to work. I'm going to send it to work. So yeah, we will be doing something with that, and we will be reinvesting it, which you can do, by the way, even if it's not your current ISA. You just can't put money in very shortly. I'm just going to wait until it goes up a little bit more. Just whilst we're here, actually, that's pretty much all I need to show you on the portfolio. But I do track my dividends in my own tracker that I made. And I'm wondering, I can't remember. Let me just see. Oh, I have. Okay. So originally, what I was going to do is this dividend tracker was only going to be for my current dividend portfolio, so my one on Interactive Brokers, and I was just going to ignore all the dividends from my Vanguard portfolio. But I kind of started wanting to track them as well. So what I've done is I've just written down the dividends from my Vanguard portfolio. I haven't put the box in a color, just so I can see the differences. So I've got this one down from October, and I also need to add one that I got from Interactive Brokers in October as well. That's not on here yet. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna color coordinate this differently. I think maybe I won't put it in orange and I'll put it in a different color, just so I can see which portfolio has paid me dividends when, because that's quite interesting. But yeah, it's so fun. Dividend investing is really fun. There are lots of pros and cons, like with anything, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for my portfolio update. Let me know how yours is doing. I'll be very interested to know. And just let me know your general thoughts and feelings about the market, upcoming possible recessions, and all of that stuff. Like, what are you feeling? Are you feeling quite positive? And what are you doing with your spare money right now? Are you putting it to work? Are you perhaps keeping some back for upcoming hard times? What are you doing? Let me know. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video very soon.